Hello everyone and welcome to downtown Tunis. Today we are going to be touring the ancient Medina. I'm here with Mohamed, who is my tour guide.
Good morning, I'm Mohamed, I'm your guide for Tunis.
Perfect. So yeah, this is going to be a tour that we do over a series of days because it's quite hot at the moment. So we're trying to start at 7 AM every morning. We're going to do about 3 hours and we're going to split it over a few days and see how much we can get covered, because the Medina is a very, very big space to map out and visit all of the tourist sites. So let's get going. Right, I did not realize that Ibn Khaldoun was actually born here in the Medina. Wow.
Medina of Tunis, from an Andalusian family.
That's amazing. Okay. And perhaps we're going to go and see his house later on. Right, we are now heading into the central market and we're going into the fish section. Oh wow, look at this. Now we're walking through the cheese spices section and then on to the white meat. There we go, yes. Right, we're in the fruit and veg section of the market. As you can see, it is rather empty. In fact, very empty. So, because of the economic downturn, because of coronavirus, there's not really very many people buying fruit, veg, or fish previously. So yeah. But anyway, lots of stuff on offer, just not many buyers. So we've just found some dried octopus, which is a local delicacy. Look, up there, 230 dinars a kilo. That is quite an extravagant bit of food up there. So for 2 kilos, you could buy yourself an entire sheep. We're now at the eastern entrance to the Medina, near Port de France, and here is the former British consulate, now the Hotel Royal Victoria. You can see it's very well located because there's the gate just there. There's Avenue Habib Bourguiba that we just walked up, and then there is the Medina itself. So we are now going to head in and start exploring. But yeah, what an amazing place for a diplomatic building. Right, we are now at Fondouk des Français. So this is an ancient hotel that used to be used by European traders, now sadly abandoned. I mean, there are so many of these kind of sites just dotted around. So at the moment it's used by mainly cats and a few traders. There we go. Look at that architecture.
So the traders, the French trader who stayed here, they bring their product. The product they brought with them should stay in the storage room down.
Yeah.
Upstairs they had the bedroom, and this room used to be the custom office. There was a sign about 10 years ago here, an old sign for the customs.
Okay. We're now walking down the main street from the Eastern Gate up towards the Zitouna Mosque. So this is a very, very popular street for tourists because it's quite easily accessible from Avenue Habib Bourguiba. And as you can see around me, we've got all sorts of shops selling all sorts of clothing and wooden products and tiles and pottery and things. So yeah, normally this is rammed. So you come in here at the height of summer when there's no coronavirus around, you'd really be struggling to get up this street. But right now, very, very quiet. So we've now wandered into Fondouk el Attarine. This is in the Medina. It's one of the restaurants. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful setup. If we have a look at the menu, a pretty short menu, which is usually a good sign. There we go. So 3-course menu, 39 dinars. And air conditioned, which is a huge plus during the summer because it's already hot and it's about 8 AM. So we're now in the center of the Medina at the Zitouna Mosque, which you can see behind me. This is a 7th century structure. And Mohammed tells me that back when it was built, you were only allowed to carry out activities near the mosque that didn't create a lot of noise or dirt. So behind me there we have an area. What was that area dedicated to? That was perfume makers. And then we also had Is this book binding,
Yeah.
that kind of thing over there?
Yeah, and booksellers.
And then woodworkers over the other side?
Yeah.
So if you're working with wood, you could work over there. So yeah, not allowed to make too much noise or kick up too much dust if you're near the mosque. Here's a madrassa. Right, we're going to explore some of the madrasas around here. Love these stripy columns you've got behind me. They're beautiful. So I quite like these tiled maps we have dotted around the Medina, showing us the touristic circuit. Okay.
Tourbet el Bey.
And we walked down from the
Yeah,
mosque.
we started here. We went up this way,
Yeah.
and then Dar Bayram, the restaurant here.
Yeah.
Next to it, the fake door of Fondouk el Attarine. Fondouk el Attarine is here. This is the military barrack of El Attarine, and then we went to this side of the mosque, and we took this street where we saw several madrasa, and then we end up walking in the street leading down to Tourbet el Bey, to the mausoleums of the royal family.
Brilliant. So we've now wandered into the Ibn Khaldoun Mosque, which is under restoration. And you can see there's the restoration work going on. So they're actually working on the carved plaster here. Yeah, quite lucky we timed our arrival just as the craftsman was coming back in to get back to work. So we can have a look outside. Look. We've now wandered down to Tourbet el Bey, which is a mausoleum. You can see the beautiful green tiled roof there. We've got another one up here. It's also closed for restoration by the Institut de Patrimoine, so we can't go in right now. But if we just wander around the outside, look at this brickwork. So is this ever open to the public? Like,
Since I started guiding, it was not open to public.
here we are at Dar Bayram, which is a boutique hotel here in the Medina. Currently closed because it's not even 9 AM, but this is a very popular place to stay and also got a good restaurant. So you're gonna have to come back when it's open. The central courtyard of Dar Hussein. Look at this. So this is the actual HQ of the Institute of Patrimony here in the Medina. Cat enjoying himself in the sunshine. Absolutely beautiful architecture. This is Souk Es Sekajine, which apparently means saddle. So this used to be the saddle maker's street. Now we've got jewellery, all sorts of other stuff, some touristy stuff. We've just been past the goldsmithing area. So we've just found a tomb, just in the middle of the walkway, which is a bit weird. So apparently the Spaniards chopped his head off, was it the 1500s?
1500,
Yeah, and they put the tomb where he got his head chopped off.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Do you know what his name was? Or what did he do to upset the Spaniards? Ibn Omar.
One of the rebels.
He was a rebel, okay.
This is how it goes.
Whoa, this is big.
It's big. So all of them, they have the madrasa, they have almost the same layout.
So behind me we have the Palais Hayreddin, built between 1860 and 1870. Beautiful building, now used as a modern art gallery. Much more spacious in this part of the Medina. You can tell this is where the wealthy people lived. And there's his stable. This is where he put his... So now it's a shop. But this is where he stored his horses. Also has a mausoleum in Istanbul, apparently. We're now going to wander into Dar Lasram, which is the headquarters for the Association to Safeguard the Medina. Used to be owned by a very wealthy family who were the chief tax collectors. And you can see tax collection definitely pays. Let's go in and have a look.
Servants, they stayed. The kitchen also is on this side.
Oh.
So usually they have a corridor leading to the central courtyard. The corridor should be winding to provide privacy to the people, to the women inside.
Wow.
This is the central courtyard of the house. So people who lived inside the Medina of Tunis, for their water, they relied only on rainwater. So they harvested all the rainwater falling on the roof. They use it for cooking, for everything.
So that's the cistern that collects the rainwater.
Yeah.
And that's basically the only source of water in this house.
Yeah.
Heading into the meeting room. Okay, this is opulent. So here we've got a huge mural showing the Medina of Tunis in 3D. Now that is quite the map. Look at that.
So where you can see the inner wall, the outer wall, and we have here the inner gate, the outer gate.
Wow.
So if you want to see, we started here. This gate is broken.
Okay.
This is the gate to the sea. This is
the Royal Victoria Hotel.
That's
and then we
went up to the mosque. Then
Yep.
from the mosque we went this way. We saw the madrasa, and these are the Tourbet, the mausoleum, Tourbet el Bey.
Yeah.
The mosque of Ibn Khaldoun is here, and also his house is here. Dar Lasram is somewhere here, and then we went outside. We are in Hafsia section on this side. We are. Let me check. We are exactly here.
Okay.
This is the palace of Hayreddin Palace.
All right.
This is his thing.
Yeah, I guess that's a big open space. That's
Yes.
quite distinctive because it's a bit rare to have so much space.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing model.
We still have a lot to explore of the Medina.
Yes, I look forward to spending many more hours wandering around the rest of it.
The synagogue you asked about, let me check.
Yeah.
The synagogue is somewhere here.
So it's quite nearby.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not far.
So there's only one synagogue in...
Two.
There's two.
Two synagogues.
Two in the Medina, okay. Now we found another map of the Medina. Look at that. That's an actual architectural map with every single structure. That's... wow. We're now wandering around the Hafsia quarter and we've come to one of the old synagogues. You can see the menorahs in the grill work there. It's not actually in use anymore. I think it's actually a police headquarters, so I'm not sure how pleased they'll be with me filming the outside. But we're going to wander to the front and apparently there is a door which has a better decoration that shows what it used to be used for. Here's the door we're talking about. And there you go. Got the menorahs there, carved into the wood. So this is another repurposed building right next to the municipal market. Which market is this? Is the city?
The market of Hafsia.
Hafsid market, and then this is a former synagogue. But now it's the Centre de Formation for the Union Nationale de la Femmes Tunisienne. Can't really see any indication that it's formerly Jewish. Not seeing any Stars of David or anything. Anything up there? Yeah. Maybe I'm missing something. If anyone knows more about Jewish architecture, please comment underneath. Does this look like it might have been a synagogue? Let's wander around the corner and see. You see anything if we go around the corner?
I don't think we see only shops.
Okay.
Only shops.
Alright. Okay, maybe not.